Welcome back to another episode of Hubler Automotive Group Coach's Corner. I am back today with a co-host who missed last week, but is back today. John, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. And then today we are joined with Franklin Girls head basketball coach and good friend of mine, Mr. Sabol. How you doing?
That's right. Good. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Let's just hop right into the questions. So, you guys have kind of had a big month. You know, obviously, you just won sectionals last Saturday. You won conference a couple weeks before that. Tell me how all that feels. Obviously, two great accomplishments.
Oh, it feels great. I mean, I think, we were talking about this the other day. You put so much work into it, whether it's the off season, whether it's the summer. I mean, the season is 4 months, and it can be a grind. But when you, win conference and then you win sectional and, you beat your rival for the third time, all of those things, it makes it feel like all of that work is finally paying off. So it feels great.
So after winning sectionals, going into regionals, pretty good actually regional teams in there. How are you guys preparing to get ready for Bedford North Lawrence and teams like that?
Yeah, well, I think, the one thing that we have going for us this year is that we went through this last year. So we know everything, what to expect, just little things, where we're going to stay, between the first game and the second game, we're going to have a grab and go breakfast before we get on the bus, just a lot of logistical things that we already are familiar with. So that really kind of eases your mind on that, so you can really focus on your opponents. So right now we're getting ready for East Central. They're very, very good. They're a top 10 team in 4A. They got two girls that are 1,000-point scorers. So, it's going to be a challenge. And on the other side, you've got Castle and Bedford North Lawrence, who are also top team. So it's exciting. But I think because we've been there before, it makes it a little bit easier as far as just what to expect.
So obviously you guys play a lot of sophomores, but they don't necessarily play like sophomores. They played high school basketball and they play like they're seniors. What does that kind of do for your guys' team that they're so young but still play so experienced?
Yeah, I think that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize is that the core of our team is still very, very young. I mean, we're talking 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds. We're still pretty young overall. But I think because of what happened last year, and then obviously the success that we've had this season, I think people think that we have this really experienced and veteran group, but we really don't. The core of our team, like you said, is that sophomore group. But they handle themselves like veterans. They're really, really competitive, and they love these moments when we're playing for championships, and that's when they thrive.
To carry on from that kind of having the young class and then the two seniors as Ashlyn and Corinne, how have they kind of taken leadership of the young team that you guys have?
Yeah, well, I think with Corinne and Ashlyn, they just they bring not just skill and not just experience, but they also kind of play off one another. Ashlyn's more inside, where Corinne is more outside, and I think their games really mesh well with the other girls on the team, and they just want to win. And I think when you have two seniors that are that determined, to win and to win championships and go far in the tournament, everyone else just kind of follows them, and makes it fun to be the coach.
So last year you guys broke a lot of records, 3-point, free throw record, a great shooting team. And you guys were also pretty good on defense last year. But this year, you guys just have to realize that your defense has been amazing. All the games I've been to, you guys normally hold your opponents under 50. I know that's something you work on in practice, but what have been the biggest keys to, still playing great offense but playing suffocating defense?
Well, I think last year, we were still a very solid defensive team, but we were more of a half-court defense, man-to-man team, and then we would press, we would kind of pick our spots. This year, we, like you said, with the suffocating defense, we've really been a lot more flexible. We've been playing a lot more zone than we ever played. We're pressing and kind of mixing up our pickup points and mixing up, the type of presses that we use. And I think, when you have really, really, really good athletes and you have smart players, and then the additions of Ashlyn and Addie allows us to be a little bit more aggressive in trapping, and like you said, just being a little bit more suffocating and creating more havoc.
So with the Center Grove game, you guys going in the halftime down. How'd you guys kind of just react as a team, like being down, which isn't usual for you guys in halftime?
Well, I think the biggest thing for us in going into that game is we did not want the game to be in the 30s, in the 40s like they have been the last 4 times we've played them. We felt like when you're trying to beat a team for the 3rd time, like a really good team, 3 times in the same season, like it's really, really, really difficult to do. And we felt like we were playing more of their style the first couple of times. So we went into halftime and saying, like, listen, we are going to win or lose. We are going to play this game on our terms. So we just decided at halftime that we were going to come out and we were going to trap the entire 3rd quarter, and I think that was kind of the separator, was just our half-court trap and getting us some easy baskets, and then finally taking the lead and holding on to that lead.
Obviously last year you guys went to semi-state, fell short to a great Brownsburg team. Nothing to be ashamed of. This year you guys want to make it back to there, but obviously you want to reach the ultimate goal of state. What is your guys' plan to make sure that you guys are always alert and ready to play, but not overconfident? And
absolutely. Our goal is to win a state championship. I think anything short of that, I think would be a disappointment. But that's what is I'll take being in that position all day. You know what I mean? I've coached teams in the past where some of my previous stops where you get you're lucky if you get 3 wins or 6 wins or whatever. So I'll take this type of pressure any day of the week. And I think for us, honestly, this sounds really, really cliche, but we are literally just focused on ourselves right now. Even during these regional practices, all we've been doing is focusing on ourselves and cleaning up things that we need to get better at. We haven't even talked about East Central yet in practice. So it's really more just making sure that our habits are ready to go and just taking it, one practice at a time.
So with you guys being a great 3-point shooting team, in practice, is there a lot of moments where you guys are just shooting the ball consistently over and over? Yeah,
well, the one thing about our team is they love to shoot and they love to compete. So what we do a lot is we have a lot of competitions and a lot of shooting competitions where we're kind of getting a lot out of it, whether it's drills where they have to get certain times or they get a certain number. And I think, when you're making it game-like and you're making it competitive and you shoot as much as we do in practice, I think that's what kind of keeps them sharp, going into those games. So like you said, a lot of shooting, but also a lot of drills that are really competitive and game-like, I think is what gets us ready for these big games.
You guys have the potential to have 2 Indiana All-Stars this year, and Ashland and Corinne Brunson, and that's just an amazing accomplishment for both those players. What is that like as a coach to know that every night you're going to have those 2 playing for your team, and how hard it is for other teams to game plan for?
Oh, it's great. I mean, obviously, like I said, I've been other places, and you're lucky if you can get a couple girls out there that is going to get you 5 points or 6 points. So having them on the team and just kind of knowing their consistency night in, night out, that they're going to be productive, it makes coaches sleep pretty good at night. But also, the thing about Corinne and Ashland as well, and I think a lot of people don't really give them enough credit for, is that when the game is on the line, when it's a big time game and it's close at the end, they just kind of have this refuse to lose attitude that they're going to make the plays in crunch time, to put us over the top, and so they kind of have that clutch factor about them as well, which I think is what makes them pretty special.
So with you guys, getting Adeline and Ashland this year from Martinsville, how quick did they just adapt with the team and get comfortable and stuff?
Well, the thing about those 2 is they are both starters on a conference championship team. They won 17 games last year, and I think they made it to the sectional championship and lost in double overtime. So coming here and taking lesser roles to an extent, Ashlyn is starting, but she's got other really good pieces around her. And Adeline is our 6th man, and she's used to starting, and they have been fantastic. No complaints. Not pouting or wishing that they had larger roles. They fit in perfectly, and they've been great all season long.
Well, Mr. Sabol, good luck to you guys in regionals and hopefully the rest of the way out. I appreciate you joining us today. It was great having you. And this was another episode of Hubler Automotive Group Coach's Corner.
Hubler is proud to be the official sponsor of Franklin Athletics. Score massive savings on all your favorite brands. Plus, get our 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty included. For all auto needs, just click drivehubler.com. Let's go, Grizzly Cubs!